Hi, I'm Eric Iverson, and this is Nightline.
This is ABC News Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting.
Actually, it's not Nightline, it's Eric's World, and this is coming to you live, well, live on tape, from my inner sanctum sanctorum. See, I've had to construct this inner sanctum sanctorum so that I can find solace and shelter from my mobs of fans. So for obvious reasons, I can't tell you where this is, but I can give you a small tour of the place, which is what we're going to be doing. But before we do that, let me just give you a little bit of a idea of why I built the inner sanctum sanctorum. And it took literally hours to find this place. I mean, I was really very, very meticulous about the standards that I chose. I pretty much no rats. That was pretty much my standard. And surprisingly, most of the places had to be rejected because of that. But this is where I go to have my really big ideas. I drive a station wagon, and it's a pretty big car, but it's not really big enough for the big ideas. I can only sort of have moderately large ideas there. So this is where I have my big ideas. Like for example, one thing that I'm working on right now is, of course, you've heard of physician-assisted suicides. Well, what I've decided, I think this is really going to take off. I'm working on suicide-assisted physicians, because I think that there's probably no one better qualified to assist you in diagnosing a fatal disease than somebody who's already died of it. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm drawing up the Ouija boards, and I'm putting all sorts of medical symbols on them. And actually, I'm thinking of putting on just words like ah, or oh my head, just because it'll be better in diagnosing this. Well, okay, I haven't really worked out all the details yet, but it's one of my big ideas. And I also use this place to have the searing visions that pretty much define my life. Like for example, I had this very mysterious dream recently where I dreamed I was watching the David Letterman show, and for some reason David was showing the audience this fundamentalist Christian pamphlet about the angel Butterfuh, and this really confused Paul Schaefer. Paul's going, "Butterfuh? What's Butterfuh?" And David said, "Well, that's pretty much when you run out of Vaseline." And and then they started making Buttafuoco jokes, and I haven't really figured out the significance of this dream yet. But my panel of parapsychologists and dietary specialists are working on it right now, and pretty soon they'll have the answer. Let's go on a short tour, and we can take a look at my place, and you can see just why it's so special to me. Okay, well, as you can see here, this is my crunchberry beast. This is something I constructed a few years ago. It's started to assume near totemic significance in my life. I actually consulted for what I should do on a day-to-day basis. I pretty much just kneel down in front of it and say, oh, great crunchberry beast, what should I do today? And unfortunately, the advice is usually along the lines of, So, it hasn't really gotten me any job interviews or anything like that. But I think I'm onto something, so I'm going to continue with this for a little bit more. But otherwise, if that doesn't work, I'll probably just, pick a household appliance or something like that. I actually have a new appliance here. If you could pan down a little bit, this is my rowing machine here. See, in the inner sanctorum, it's very important for me to acknowledge that my body is a temple, and so I've been rowing on this, but actually it's interesting because it also makes an excellent dance partner. Okay, here we are at the refrigerator, my refrigerator, the Sanctum Sanctorum's refrigerator, and this is where I'm working on one of my new projects. I was so taken by Michael Jackson's Black or White video that I'm doing my own project called Fresh or Spoiled, where I'm going to be taking common objects found in your refrigerator and using them in a video about the brotherhood of food items, pretty much. See, I don't think that we should discriminate between fresh or spoiled food. I think that, just because something could potentially kill you, because it's past dated and stuff like that, I really don't think that it's the food item's fault. I don't think we should judge it. And so I'm hoping through this video that, we can, I don't have a unity amongst the 4 food groups. Can't we all get along? To make it in my dinner, it don't matter if you're fresh or spoiled. Diddly-liddy, you're fresh or spoiled. It's fresh, or it comes from your refrigerator. It's fresh or spoiled. It's fresh, and you eat it and you get sick. It's fresh, it's spoiled. To make it in my dinner, it don't matter if you're fresh or spoiled. This is one of my prized possessions. I just had to share this with you. This is my fright wig, and what I do is sometimes when I need a little laugh, and who doesn't need a little laugh, I sometimes pretend that I'm a caveman filming a rock video, and I have this whole thing called Hey Mr. Hunter-Gatherer Conformity Man. And I find it very relaxing, and it thins the blood almost to the point where I need hospitalization.